Hi. Hi. I'm at work station today. So, title of this is How to Manifest Better. And sorry, I did not uh, set a come set a date, but it kind of slipped my mind a little bit, only because I had some other things going on this weekend. Let me get right into the topic though. So, we want to think about the importance of our why we are working on certain goals in our life. Why are we um, doing it? Like, for example, I guess the most common example of this would be like weight loss. So, a lot of people, when they make that choice or they have that desire to um, do something about their weight, they might be thinking about health. They might be thinking about like activities they want to be able to do. They might be talking about attracting a mate, those kinds of things. So I'm saying you got to know your why, and know it well, that it will carry you as you are manifesting. Because a lot of people think manifesting is magic, and it is, but it isn't. So it's like the world is infinite. Like the whole, like, okay, the part that to me can be magic is the idea, the fourth dimension, the idea world. Anything is possible. But then as 4D turns into 3D, okay, we got to start thinking about, well, what steps do we need to take to make sure 4D gets clearly into 3D, okay? And that's the work of to me, the work of the manifesting, okay? And most people don't understand that. And I don't understand why. So that's why I do these videos. There's so many people say, oh, well, the law of attraction is, you know, bogus, and manifesting is woo woo and all this stuff. It's like, if you look up the definition of manifesting, it is just basically the process of accomplishing something. Okay? That's all. That's the real definition of it. So please, educate ourselves. But since you are here and we've gone through a few concepts when it comes to manifesting, so this weekend, now I can story time a little. This weekend, one of my bands, because I am a musician, is we performed last night, and I'm going to be transparent. So I did not want to drink or consume alcohol last night, but I ended up doing it, and I didn't want to do it. But I set myself up for success, and that's kind of what I want to talk about too. For when it comes to being a manifester, you set yourself up for success. Okay. And one of the things that I was worried about for this weekend, because again, I'm planning a lot of different things. Okay. I have a full life, even though, I have a full-time job. I also have a full other life too. And I just wanted to make sure I wasn't hung over. Okay. So that was the main issue for me. It's like, I don't want to be hung over, and I care about my health, and I care about how my next few days are going to be. So, recently I've realized that I can't handle alcohol as much. And I do, you know, try not to drink. Like, let's see, last summer I went completely dry because that was part of detoxing and, other things. But I I rarely drink it, and this was an occasion where it was going to be everywhere, and it was an occasion where I felt in a safe environment. So it wasn't like I was worried somebody was going to put things in my drink, or that kind of thing. So I prepared myself though. So as you set yourself up for success so that as you are going through your habits, um, you can decrease situations of self sabotage, because I feel like that would have been a situation for self sabotage. So, me knowing that right now, and I'm having seltzer water, by the way, me knowing that I wanted to make sure I'm ready for the prepare myself for my manifestations, I need to be like focused and healthy. And that's not going to happen if I'm drinking alcohol. So, I have to really think about those kind of things. And I think a lot of people should be thinking more about those things that you think that hold you back and that hold you back, and what to do if and or when those situations come up for you, and what are you going to do, because that's what I do with my kids, my students. So say for example, let's say for example, little Johnny is playing with his, I don't know, let's see, I'm trying to think of something weird, shoestring on his shoe. So little Johnny, um he will sit on our rug for our lesson time, like for full class lesson. Little Johnny's sitting on the rug, but then he's just so drawn, like, to his shoestring, because maybe he has one of those little, little decorations or something on his shoe, and he's like, I don't want to play with it, and he's playing with it, and then he misses the whole lesson. And then when it's time to go back to his seat and do some work, he's like, I don't know what to do, because I wasn't paying attention to my teacher at all. I was too busy playing with my little trinket on my shoe. And so what I would do in this situation would be like, little Johnny, so I want you to think about what's going to make you not play with the little charm on your shoe. So little Johnny might say something like, well, maybe I need to sit at the table. That way I'm far away from it and I don't touch it, because I'm sitting crisscross applesauce. When I'm doing crisscross applesauce, it's hard for me not to get distracted by it. Or I could take it off, the little charm, and put it on my backpack, that kind of thing. So I give him, a couple of options to figure out. And again, this is back on him, not me. It's like, I don't tell him to do any of these things. I can make a suggestion, and that's what I do. As a teacher and a life coach, I can give you some options. I can help guide you and facilitate you. So little Johnny probably decides, let's say, okay, in my situation as the teacher, I chose two options that I'm okay with either way. So I'm okay with little Johnny going to sit at the table. And I'm also okay with little Johnny taking his little charm off and putting it in his backpack. Okay with both of those. So it's a win-win for me as a teacher. And hopefully it's up to him that now he feels like he has, and he does. We all do have choice. Okay. Spiritually, I think a lot of people don't realize you have choice. You have choice in this world, in this life, and it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. But besides that, it's, yeah, little Johnny has made a choice. He feels empowered now. He knows what to do. Next time, maybe not wear the little charm on his shoe. Maybe it needs to stay on the backpack. That way he gets to see it every day, no matter what shoes he's wearing. See, so many wonderful things came out of this openness of possibilities when it comes to setting goals, or uh, working with obstacles. I don't want to say setting goals, but you've set your goal, your why, and then you are planning for cases of derailment. So yeah, so little Johnny is now successful, or at least now he has eliminated an obstacle that could potentially be in his way. And now he can be successful in class. So how does that work for you? Me, like I said, this weekend, it would have been me drinking alcohol and then feeling miserable all day today and wouldn't be able to get any of my normal chores done or any of the other work that I want to do to, again, gain more freedom in my life, right? So uh, I do take supplements a lot, and again, I talk about it here. I might leave up a video, the eating healthy video. Yeah, I'll put it up, eating healthy. Um, and then I I supplement, and so I know what's going to help my support my liver as I am taking on a few adult beverages, right? And of course, you eat well and you sleep well and uh, you stay hydrated, all the normal stuff, right? And he me so like I said, I was like, oh, okay. So I even had there is now hangover uh beverages out there that will help you again eliminate hangovers. So I strongly suggest people you know partake in those also and just stay hydrated. I don't know. Um so yeah. So I did, like I said, I had some wine, like maybe 2 or 3 glasses of wine, and then a little bit of some special punch, just like a couple of shots that had vodka in it. So I'm like, oh, okay. But in the end, this morning, and then I can talk about, in fact, I probably need to make another video about what I did this morning. Because I was not hungover, but I did feel some inflammation, if that makes sense. Yeah. So we don't do inflammation over here. um so yeah, you want to set yourself up to not get knocked down by your obstacles. That's why it's important to journal. Okay. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. And there are people who like, well, I don't like to write. I got something for you. Guess what? You can do video journaling. You could do audio recording. I've done all of those. Okay. As a journalist, journaler and a journalist at one point in time. I was. Fun fact. Yeah, I used to write for a magazine. Um, yeah, I don't know where my. So yeah, in fact, it's gotten to the point where all of my old cell phones have things on it that I need, and I'm just trying to find ways to get that information off and put it in a safe place. But yeah, so if you're like, I don't like to write, you can video journal. You can record your voice, okay? And it doesn't have to be like, long or anything. You're unloading thoughts. You're talking through certain things that you want to work through, right? Some people don't talk to themselves. I am a person who do talks to herself, and again, love it. But some people don't do it. And they need a way to start opening up the floodgates, because the more you do it, the more you start really reflecting about yourself and the things that are important to you. So again, that's yet another reason for journaling. I totally so anyway, you want to set yourself up for success. You know your whys. You try to and then sometimes there are things that will come um unexpectedly, like something else that happened today. So yes, I am a teacher. I have a parapro. She texted me while I was out running errands, and she said that basically her home um, experienced a power outage, like something like a tree fell. Like if you live in Atlanta, So a tree fell and not just knocked out the power, but pulled cords out of walls and things like that. So it's like, ooh, wish you well, ma'am. Okay. Um, but in that situation, I go ahead and take back on other roles I have in my regular day job, things that I wouldn't, I kind of have delegated to her. She can't be there, at work at least tomorrow. And I don't even know, quite honestly, knowing what I know, she might be out for a few days. Okay. So you kind of have to start thinking about how you can automate your life in such a way that if situations like this happen, you still don't feel as overwhelmed. You might still feel overwhelmed, but you've got things handled, right? So I do things like, and some of this stuff, again, people know it, but putting it all together to make it work is an interesting topic, and I love it. That's why I totally geek out about it. So things like I meal plan. I do that every weekend. So I kind of tried to experiment a little bit about the days of the week, but Sunday seems to be the best day for me to do all of that. I like fresh vegetables. So that's usually in most in we do have a couple of farmers markets that are open on Sundays, and just the natural, foods and stuff like that. Health food stores are kind of open, and not a lot of people are there too. So yeah, so um, I do my meal planning all in one day. I pretty much eat the same thing all the time. Anyways, a salad, a simple put together salad. Like I don't do extra whatever. I do my arugula, my protein, maybe I like olives, like that's an option, olives. And right now I'm doing okra. Pickled okra is a fermented food, fermented. So again, maybe I need to do another video, because I feel like another video about how I do my food and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I eat fresh, as fresh as possible. And then, like I said, I do have proteins every once, and mushrooms. So again, you can't just get out canned mushrooms. Yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all are funny. Yeah, so I go and get my food fresh and eat it fresh as much as possible. That's a spiritual practice I think more people should be doing. Yeah. Um, so yeah, so I do all my meal planning. I used to do, and people used to laugh at me. I used to set out all my clothes for the week too. I used to. Now, the only reason why I don't now is because I also came up with another system. And this is like my daily morning routine habits. So, okay, so think about all the people keep saying things like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time because I have to do all these things. It's like, because you do them in real time. Like, you need to cut the, like, for efficiency's sake. I mean, I don't know. Even if you had a corporate job, you can set your clothes out for the week. Okay, like I don't see a big problem with that. Set them out for the week. Okay, meal plans. That's less work during the week if you overslept. You know, and then you're already ready, right? So meal plan. Set your clothes out. Um, Other things that that you can just do ahead of time that saves time, so that when you are in the execution of your day, you don't have to put it, first of all, that's energy that you're spending too. You don't have to expend the energy to try to remember that you're doing some new things to help your life, right? And then you don't have to think about it in that moment is of like, well, what do I need to do? Having making decisions, remembering and making decisions. That's energy inducing. Okay. And our brains need to be focusing on the creating and executing. It does. And when you eliminate those really kind of mundane, boring things, so I do all that kind of stuff on the weekend. I do my grocery shopping, meal planning on the weekends. If I have, like, of course, the other typical chores like taking out the trash and the cleaning of the house and or organizing kind of stuff. Um, Last Thursday, something happened and I kind of panicked a little bit, and it gave me an opportunity to do some purging. That's also a spiritual practice, physically purging things, so throwing away, like, don't need it. And there has been once you take away all these mundane things, doing the doing the thing becomes easier. The path is easier. Okay, even what I do, like I said, I have, this is my, I'm literally at my desktop right now. Luckily, again, my cat, he is kind of just done with me, and he's asleep in the living room. That's my other workstation where I film also. But my setup over there, of course, I have the background because that's when the shutdown shut down. That's where I was teaching from. Okay, teaching the littles, the little kids, and I have at least a podium that's high enough for my laptop. You know, so again, I'm sitting on my couch. I even have, and that's where I invested in massage chairs like this one is. That's another reason why I'm over here. And I have a little thing over there also, so that it just makes it so much easier. So if I wanted to film in the living room, I don't have to go do a big production except for the sound. And that's the one thing I'm still working on tweaking. So right now I have um, uh, the music on, and luckily you can hear me. Over here, this mic works pretty okay. I would like to get a little bit of a stronger setup for the vocals, but again, that's something to work on. As again, as you manifest, you see, you do things, you see how it's working, you adjust. Okay, so you eliminate all these things that are just like time wasting, basically. It's like, make these choices now, write them out now. um, when you're doing those mundane things, that's also where I'm also listening to podcasts. So even this morning, I had one podcast I was listening to, and I'm probably going to do some work around the notes I took um, tonight. And then there was another podcast right before I went out, or actually right before I started doing this. So I lasted the whole time. So it was interesting. The 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 channel I was listening to is about different streams of income and how you can begin to use things like AI. Because I'm again educating myself about what's going on out here, because I'm an educator, so I need to know. And then he went into I guess it was a live session, and there were people asking him like, why did you, because he is living in Panama with his family, and he is a black man. Yeah. And so a lot of the people on, I guess, on his call was saying, asking him like, why did you move out of the country? What, like, what's so great about the country you're in? It's not about the country you're in. What he was saying, it's about leaving the country you're in. Okay, so yeah, there are people who are experiencing now that you don't have to stay at these jobs, and you don't have to stay in the United States, and you don't have to stay anywhere you don't want to be. Do you hear what I'm saying? Choice. Back to that, as I mentioned earlier. So choice. I think because of this technology and what happened in 2020 has alarmed us, awakened us to what is possible, and the choice now that we have. We have choice, and now more people know it. There are some people who are still kind of stuck in trying to feel like, oh, I just want things to go back to normal, because people, humans, love homeostasis. Like, well, yeah, habit wise. So humans like things like in a consistency, and big changes are scary. I understand that big changes are scary, and That's the reason why, you made it here to this channel. Big changes are scary. And that means you become a new person. It means you become a different person. And that is the darkness of being a manifester. It's like you don't know how it's going to turn out at first when you become a deliberate manifester. But once you become more and more practiced at this, understanding that you got to have that, and you've got to continue to just work your habits, develop the habits, develop consistency, prepare for sabotage, prepare for success. Okay, to prevent sabotage. And there's just so many people who, I guess, when the shutdown shut down, there was a lot of people who were just looking for answers. But the thing is, the universe is, like I said, so expansive that there is no one answer. Okay? There is no one answer. And that can be scary too for the first time, when people see, like, oh, there's no bottom to this. Oh goodness, there's nothing but the dark out here. How why can't I just know what's behind here? That's the journey. That's what's necessary. And yeah, and we can talk about like things like, of course, you got to take care of your basic needs. Things like you got to have food and shelter, feel safe. But then there is the sense of, I'm trying to think of the right word, the sense of pride in oneself, or having a purpose. After you've taken care of those basic needs, you want a reason. Back to the why. You want a reason. Why am I here? To bring joy, to provide education, to so that's what I'm saying. It's like you definitely want to take care of the basic needs, and that's what I'm saying, automate them. So again, see, here we go. Yeah, automate those basic, boring, mundane things. Like, yeah, we got to eat, and yeah, you got to take care of your body, you get some sleep. Again, that's automation too. So um I want to keep this video evergreen, but there is a special event um as I am filming, but I'm not going to partake in that kind of thing. And sometimes, again, yes, you got to remove yourself from the culture and think of what it is. You're back to your why. You got to depart from the culture sometimes. Hmm. And the idea of grinding, I mean, we can talk about that. That might be a good topic for the next time, because I don't use the word grind anymore. I used to, but I don't. And yeah, but I want to set myself up for success. Okay. So it's also, in a way, compounding. So the concept of compounding is like you do one thing, and then that thing can help support the next thing. And then that thing can help support the next thing. So you're kind of building on something, right? And that term is used a lot in banking, but you can use it with anything really. So um, I have my it's funny. I have my AI open right now, and I I do have a chat GPT. So I have, probably should name them. I don't know. But I also, I don't know. This is a sidebar conversation in my head. Sorry, you see, I can talk to myself and to you. All right, so I'm going to ask the chat GPT, um, what, or wait, let me change that. How can I compound a new habit? Okay. So how can I compound a new habit? All right, let's see what they say. This is an error. So you know what could be going on, of course. Everybody's on it right now. I still have a new account, but they're offering a paid account. I'm considering. We'll see. All right. So, and this would be a question anyway for Google, so I can just go straight to Google. I'm gonna take the same question, move to Google. Um, hmm Basically the same I just said. So, 5 strategies will help you overcome your urge for instant gratification, because that's really the biggest sabotage of them all. And again, working with some actual students, like right now, with focusing and having a stronger attention span, working at, doing better in class. So one thing I did tell this one particular student, I was like, well, because she is also into rock climbing. I didn't know that. So that's fun. So I can relate that, made that connection with her. And so I told her, I was like, well, uh, I'll just call her Jay. Well, Jay, that just like when you do your rock climbing, you have to make a choice at each, position that you make. And when you change something that you've been doing the same for a long time, it's hard to break that habit, but you can exchange it with a new habit. But then you got to think ahead of what is going to help you, support you to get you to that next habit. And sometimes it takes making a choice right here, and it's like, oh, okay, I thought I can use this little thing. Maybe I need to go to this other one right here and change up. So always reevaluate. So I think that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like always reevaluate your strategies and whatnot, also, as you are not tempted to wish for instant gratification. So we're going to take the magic out of manifestation, okay? But part of it is, knowing that process, that you're going to be doing some work. Okay, and it's not going to be as hard as you think, you know but you got to plan ahead. Again, thinking ahead. So one of the things that they say here is, know your triggers. Get rid of it, find replacements, then take it easy. Okay, so seriously, like the steps themselves are really not hard. It's just the execution. It's the journey. Okay, the getting from A to B in geometry, straight line, y'all. Okay, it really is. But once you start intersecting your line and start putting other points over there, curving it and whatnot, then of course you're gonna have some problems. But really, plan ahead. Plan ahead. Plan ahead for those things, those mishaps. So like I said, I have a little bit more chores for me this week, because like I said earlier, my assistant, she has to be out of work on the next day or two. And I'm just are already automating or thinking about what I'm going to do ahead of time. Like I've been that kind of person for since as long as ever. And I think I did mention that in a video. It's like when I wanted to become a singer-songwriter, I I started making a plan. When I made the choice, I've started making a plan. And this was me at 11 years old. So all the things I'm telling you, y'all, I literally, that's who I am. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, so I'm chit chatting when I'm actually should be doing stuff, but I mean this is a part of the work too, right? Um, I've been doing some making of shorts, And that is one of the tasks I need to make sure I'm doing. So I'm gonna go silent, but I am here. Okay. I don't. I might go silent. Maybe I should just talk to myself when not looking at the camera or looking at at the chats, mm, at the different chats. So, alrighty. So, yeah, I'm gonna let this wonderful music. And this, hopefully you like this music. Let me know in the comments because I am a lo-fi artist anyway. If you look me up, um, I go by Nerd Queen. Let me put the spelling in there. I may be taking this down later. Taking the chat off, that is. So I go by Nerd Queen, and my music has always been low fidelity, always. So I have big ideas around all that. But anyway, um, yeah. So I've been doing some social media prep work for some for Nerd Queen and some for the other band for which I played with them yesterday, last night, and um, also, oh, that kind of you're getting some. Wow, you're getting a lot. I feel like that tonight might be like a little bit of a master class. Okay, so because I'm really telling you what I'm doing to manifest, how that's playing out for me, things that are obstacles, all of it, like what I'm sharing with you is basically it is manifesting, all of it. Okay, living life. Okay, and I so yeah, so there is a special event on this evening. Again, I'm not participating, being a part of the culture in that. Like I'm not also like I am on social media, but I'm not receiving social media. Does that make sense? So I am out here with you right now, but I am not uh scrolling, if that makes sense. So because I'm manifesting, I'm too busy doing that. So why would I be taking in something? So yeah, I don't know. Oh goodness. So yeah, so I am doing that, and then yeah, earlier again this afternoon. So I've been doing a lot. See, it's been a busy day. It's been a busy day. Most people probably just they do their little chores and watch some TV, watch the game or whatever, and then they get ready for work and be all sad on Monday. It's like, ugh. I personally hate when people do that. That's because that's how you spent your Sunday and you spent your Saturday destroying your body and stuff. So, but anyway, the band, we, after the event or whatever, we had pictures and stuff, and people are sending each other pictures through our chat. And then um, one of my bandmates, we recently had a bandmate leave the group. It seemed like group or whatever, but I think my other bandmate was kind of upset about it and also like suspicious about the events around it. And so she got pieces of information. She says pieces of information from another person that didn't get it directly from the member that left. So again, I probably need to use name. Basically, my bandmate person got information from somebody who talked to the other person, but yeah. But anyway, um, and so I, told the person what my experience was. It's like, well, I got an email, and I'm just gonna go take what it says because again, we have to start practice. Pretend like you don't have feelings and pretend to act a certain way. Um, ooh, sorry. I think I lost connection for a moment, but I think I'm back on. Hopefully, I am. It looks like I am. Okay. So I basically, long story short, it's like I also don't participate in gossip. I don't participate in friend gossip, not even necessarily family gossip. And the only reason why I say not necessarily, because sometimes those kind of things do affect you eventually. So you kind of need to know some of those things that's going on. But friend gossip, big X, no. Celebrity gossip, no, I don't do that. I don't even, I've once, like one season, and this was like years ago. Of course, I watched like what the Housewives or whatever, and then got into Love Island of all things one year, one summer or something. But that's gossip, okay? It's gossip. And I saw some saying earlier, so I need to find out where it is. But gossip drains your energy. Like, why are you doing that? Like, is that necessary? How about just go to the person if you really want to know if it pertains to you rather than hear it from somebody else. I prevent gossip sometimes in my workplace because people bring information to me and I was like, you know what, let me go tell them what, because I was actually there. And it's not a, if they're saying things and I'm involved in there, I was like, I need to let them know. It's like, this is what happened. And I'm not about gossiping, okay, nor hiding anything either. So don't start making up stuff. So that's the whole thing. Gossip leads to making up, manifesting uh, ideas of fear and suspicion and I don't know, just bad stuff. So when you're gossiping, that is manifesting. You're manifesting ideas of negativity, most likely, and that's not good. That's not helpful. Not helpful for you or the parties involved either. So anyway, so I I don't participate in gossip and I try to shut it down in my life wherever it is. I'm like, okay, yeah. And even when trying to get somebody trying to pull me into the gossip, I just speak on what actually I am a witness to. So I just can't go about uh indulging in gossip like tactics. Okay, I heard and she said and that kind of thing. I'm like, no, not my business. I don't know. Okay, and that is an energy drainer. So maybe that should also be a part of another video. It's like you can't manifest if you're tired. Okay, and you're tired because your energy and your attention is diverted in all kinds of different ways. Just so many different ways where you just unnecessarily put yourself in there and then expended your energy, expended your emotions, and all the chemical reactions that's going on in there. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is deeper than a lot of people think it is. And this deeper manifesting, law of attraction, this is so much deeper than like I don't know, the Disneyland Mickey Mouse typey presentations that you might be seeing in other people's channels. And they're just saying the words. I don't know, and I'm not knocking that either. If you're just saying the words, because even I was at a place where I was just saying the words. But I have come now to really just embody what and realize how it really was, there for me. The art of, the law of attraction and the art of manifesting. It's, yeah, it's really interesting where, like I said, I'm taking the magic out of manifesting. There's people, like I said, they're saying certain words for the algorithms and things like that. And I'll admit, at one point I was a little jealous because I'm like, they they're just saying the words, and why is it that they have like all these whatever? But I'm just like, they're just saying the words, and whatever happens for me is that hopefully the people who need me the most that will truly activate all of this knowledge will be those that I like to call the real ones. They're the real ones. Okay. I consider myself a real one. I'm trying to think of another great example of a real, oh yeah, Dionne Warwick. She's a real one. Okay. She is not here for you to play games with. Jennifer Lewis, a real one. Okay. Um, so yeah, so when I say I'm not looking for people who they think that manifestation is magic. I'm not here for that. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's doable, basically. So I think when people think of the word magic, they think it's just this, again, this hierarchy thing. But we all have it. Okay. And so many people just still devalue themselves. And again, that's that obstacle I'm talking about again. So I'm just saying, it's like we hold ourselves back. We are our own worst enemy. And mhm, we are our own worst enemy. And we have to let ourselves be the I ams that we are. Okay. Yeah. And not to think that we are all Cinderellas, right? we're, we're more than just cleaning and scrubbing. Okay. We're more than just even what they say, that our haters hate us because they see the shine in you. They see it. Okay. That's why they try to keep you down, or you think they're trying to keep you down. Sometimes it's even just your own perception. Sometimes it's you perceiving it. And again, this is what we do over here. We work that out. Yeah, we work that out. Hmm. It's like you hold yourself accountable. There's so many people who don't, and they don't realize they have the choice. And they can drift into the possibility of the absurdity of all the possible choices, release the fear, release the pain of holding on when you can just let go. Okay. It is just so, it's just so amazing that we just live in this universe right now. We live in this universe now. When it was starting at its mass point, in the boom, the bang, we made it to this point where I think there are more than one universe. We're going to explode into another, and another, and another, and compound. Oh my gosh, cheeks are smiling so hard. Uh, cheeks are cheeks are burning. Yeah, sorry. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's smiling, and now my teeth are dry. Like, funny. So yeah, it's almost like you have to, and this is a saying too. It's like you've got to start believing your own lies. You have to, because a lot of people, and I can see why somebody would say that you got to start believing your own lies, because again, back in the 4D, all the thought is there, right? And until it's in 3D, most people think it's a dream or a lie or a plan. Okay, it could be one of the three: dream, lie, or plan. In 4D, that's where we are, right? So it's easy for, people who have that fearful spirit to be like, go straight to my hormonal chemical reaction of fear. It's like, ooh, it's that idea is scary, right? But then, you realize like, yeah, I feel this fear and it's heavy and I don't like it. What can I do? Then you dream. Then you dream. But again, sometimes that fear creeps back in, right? And it wish you back in. But if you're in the 4D and 4D is about that plan, you can plan for the plan. Plan the steps in the plan. Reverse engineer is the plan. Okay? 4D can show up in a lot of different ways for people in different levels. So I think now that I'm musing about it a little bit, a lot of those other channels that kind of, like I said, cartoonify, just, I don't know, making it commercially sweet, the idea of the law of attraction, that they're still just dreaming. Yeah, that they're still just dreaming. But not us, okay? We are truly aware when we know the playing field, the board, the invisible labyrinth inside the crystal cave. When we know where we are and we know who we are, we know how the game is played. And we will take that, knowing how the game is played, and the idea and the knowledge now that you have choice. It's always been there. This entire this entire universe is your playground. Okay? When you start believing your own lies, right? Right back to that again. This universe becomes your playground. And what looks like magic is really just this crazy, wild journey of discovering you. It's a crazy, wild discovery. Oh, gosh. I'm getting some more ideas. And yeah, sorry. I'm actually supposed to be still editing this other YouTube video short that should be coming up this week. But now I'm even seeing where I can take some edits from this live and use them as shorts, because that might be good too. And then now my cheeks hurt smiling so much. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. It's like interrupted my music there. So yeah, so I it's nice to have like accountability, right? It's nice. And I think people definitely and that's something that's been popping up too lately, where some people say move in silence. Again, I'm on that team. And then some people say, tell everybody accountability. It was like, but I feel like there's a happy medium with this. There could be a happy medium between just not telling anybody anything and then maybe having some sense of accountability. So I would say be mindful about who you tell if you're telling people, because then that could be your support team, right? Versus negative Ned, negative Nancy, so it's your support system. And then I'm trying to think of anything else that's popping up. So yeah, I want to try to be like, okay, this is how we manifest better, y'all. It is. And mastering time, because that's the one thing that is our variable in all of this. Because somebody out there decided to measure events from one event to another event, because really there's no such thing as time. There's no, it's it is a measurement. It's a form of measurement between events. Okay, like I went to sleep versus I am at the zoo, right? So um that's all time is. And because we have now named it, and we all manifested it, so now it's here. So I mean, even though there's no such thing, but it's still here. um we have to try to master it now. We made the monster, right? This is it. We had the playground and everything that was all ready for us. The real demon is time, untamed. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the real demon, time. And so, yeah, that's why I'm talking about things like compounding and just batching, yeah, all that stuff. It's like, mhm. So we definitely got to find better ways, yeah, to streamline this, because it's already here. Because, like I said, we keep saying this. We keep saying this. No such thing as time. The universe is. We already have that. We just need to navigate to get through to the next, to the next becoming. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I should probably end. I'm getting. Yeah, we're doing hours. 1 hour, and I really do need to finish getting ready for the rest for the week. So not for the Monday, for the week. I don't. And again, the only reason why I keep up with the days of the week is just barely to, because again, I teach, and even then, I'm like, what day is it? And that's a good sign, because I want to be one day living a lifestyle where I'm like, who cares what day of the week it is? Oh goodness. Yeah, who cares? Like, what day is it? Who cares? It's today. Oh gosh, that cracked me up. But yeah, so I'm gonna link. You know what I am gonna do though? I'm gonna link my Nerd Queen channel to this one, so that y'all can see and join your and add yourselves over there too. Cause yeah. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end this right now. So plan those plans, friends. Plan those plans in 4D. Don't let it be a dream. Don't let it be a lie. It's a plan. Let's get it down into 3D. Okay? Freestyling. Sorry. That's funny. All right. Take care.